Hi everybody, John back again. Good to see you all. So in this video I'm going to catch up and show a little bit of prog. I've got a lot of records to show and yeah, I really do need to get moving on some of these showings. I've got a small stack here though, so I'll take it a little bit easy today. I'm listening to Mike Oldfield on my Dawn. That's what's on my record player at the moment. So I will start off by showing this record. This is a record by Home. Home were a British band, progressive rock. This is their third album, and I think one that is regarded as their strongest, I think. It's a sort of a, yeah, I should show that a bit more detail. It's a concept album, all about some young boys that meet an old man, which sounds a bit dubious, doesn't it, to today's modern ears, but I suppose back in '73 when this was released, they were more innocent times, I think. But they seem to sort of, yeah, tell the story of these two young boys that meet this old man, and they somehow sort of go through a time loop, I think, and one of the boys actually becomes the old man that they meet. So there you go. It's quite an interesting record, I think. I really like the cover. I looked out for a long time to find a copy of this, and was very glad to get it. I got it a few months ago now, so I've been keeping hold of it because I wanted to feel that I had an understanding of it before I sort of showed it and then put it away in my shelves. So that Home, the band, they've got a few members in here that went on to join other bands. Cliff Williams, for instance, he became part of AC/DC, and Laurie Weisfield, or Wisfield, I don't know how you pronounce his name, Laurie Weisfield, guitar player, he became part of Wishbone Ash. And yeah, I've heard it said that you can hear his style of guitar that he took with him to Wishbone Ash in these records. I don't know Wishbone Ash well enough to know, but certainly a great guitar player. Next record I'm going to show is this. This is Bloodrock, an album called Passage. Now I learnt about this band by here we go, watching that Canadian fella, I'm trying to think of his name now, Eric's on my turntable. He showed an album by this band, Bloodrock. I'd never heard of him before, and I thought I quite liked the sound of what, you know, the way he was describing it. I looked them up, and yeah, they're sort of quite an organ heavy band, which was you know, something that I've been listening out for a lot the past year or so, particularly Mellotron. Yeah, the organ is particularly strong in this music. The record that Eric showed, I haven't been able to get hold of. This is their earlier album, I think possibly their first one, and I got lucky with this. It's only been, well, it hasn't been released in the UK. Indeed, this is an American pressing, but I managed to get hold of a copy of this here in the UK because it's an American. You can see if you look here, American records, they do tend to have quite a cheap, thin paper surface on the record cover. At least these ones from the 70s here, you can see it there. Whereas we have these, what they call in America, these flip back things, often in the back of records. The flip backs are covered up by this thin veneer with the picture of the album on. This is really good. So let's have a listen to this. Listen out for the organ that I said about. Great stuff. Though I don't know how this came to be in the UK. I presume somebody from the US moved here with it, or somebody brought it in from the US, paid for it to come here. But it was, at the time of buying it, it was the only copy available here in the UK. Okay, new record now, Go and Fo. I showed an album by them last year, I think. This is their new album they've just recently released. They're a British progressive rock band based in Norfolk, Norwich, I believe. And yeah, I was surprised to find that this came out earlier, I believe this year, and Like so many bands that release albums these days, it takes a while for the vinyl to come out. This beautiful green vinyl with custom labels. There we go. Do a great job, I think, of the way they make their records these days. I've been enjoying them. So the album is actually quite different from the first one they released. It's much more up tempo, and what I find interesting about them is that they've got a very strong guitar player. I think it's the guitar player and the drummer or the bass player that are brothers. I'm not sure which. But what's really nice about it is their guitar player doesn't take centre stage, you know. He plays in such a way that it just becomes the sound of the band, the music. The band aren't his carriage basically to sort of solo over, if you know what I mean. And that's often a problem, I think, with a lot of modern bands. And they've avoided that. It's quite a special cover, really. Look at that. Did want to go and see these play live. But it would mean driving over to the other side of the country to do that at the moment. But I do hope to be able to catch up with him soon. Recommend Guff. Another newish, fairly sort of contemporary album. This is Melody. I'm going to try and pronounce the name. It's in Finnish. Annavehinentetta. I can't speak Finnish. If it had been in Swedish, I could have done it, but in Finnish, it's a very different language. So this was released, I think, last year. There's their gatefold, beautiful record. I wasn't that impressed. So it's on Spot. There you go. I wasn't that impressed when I first got this, and I think, you know, I had expectations. Their earlier albums have been, for me anyway, very much in the vein of the Scandinavian Skogsprog, the sort of forest progressive rock, to my ears anyway, and that's really what I've liked them for. This album steps away from that, and yeah, I wasn't prepared for that. I was hoping to have another forest prog album, but I think this this develops in a good way. It took me a while to kind of get my head around that, and now that I've appreciated that, yeah, they're not going to keep on making the same album over and over again, I really enjoy this. It's you certainly get your money's worth with a record, don't you? When you really have to kind of spend a bit of time with it and grow to like it. It's a lovely thing about decent progressive rock is that it's not instant. You've really got to kind of work with it, and it sounds a bit pretentious, but you kind of got to grow towards it too. And I have done that with this, so I'm enjoying this much more now that I've kind of accepted that it's a new record, same band, but they're kind of progressing their sound. See what you think. Okay, Barclay James Harvest. Say what you like about Barclay James Harvest, the albums never seem to run out. So this is Barclay James Harvest and Other Short Stories. It's one of their earlier albums. I think is it the third one maybe? Picked this up quite a reasonable price. It's big fold. I've really got to clean this one up. I haven't sort of cleaned it yet. It's a little bit crackly, but well, maybe that'll sound better once I've cleaned it. It's one of those that is on the Harvest label. And last of all is a record I'm going to show. Oh, careful, Saffron. Last of all is a record I'm going to show Um, this was a blind buy. I was shopping in a charity shop, and there was a lot of records there, and I saw this one, and I was immediately struck by this cover. I really like this sort of psychedelic thing going on in the pupil of the eye, sort of like a brilliant blue psychedelic paisley thing happening. I'd never heard of this band before. Looked them up, and they're an Irish band. It's called The Book of Invasions, Celtic Symphony by Horslips. Well, Horslips apparently in their day were a really big and popular band. Um, I mean, I've heard it said they're as big as, you know, Thin Lizzy or any of the other sort of large Irish bands at the time. They had a few records out. There were, or I think there still is, at the charity shop where I bought this, a couple of more of their albums, but they're latter ones, so they don't get such good reviews, and I've sort of held off from going to buy them. But I was really happy to have bought this and brought it home. There's a definite sort of Celtic, sort of Irish, diddly diddly kind of sense to this. No offence to anybody Irish, but you know what I mean. It's got that Irish music cultural sort of essence to it. And yeah, I'll show you the rest of the record. There you go, the inner sleeve. And I've really kind of been enjoying this. So I am thinking about potentially looking out for some of the other earlier, stronger albums that are, you know, comparable with this one. But yeah, I don't think I've ever seen anyone show Horslips before on the VC. Not a name of a band I've ever heard before, but certainly worth entertaining. I'm going to do a needle drop of this, see what you think. Okay, everybody, so I think that's all the records I've got to show this time. Like I said, I've got loads of records. Car boot sale season has started up now, and although it's been raining here recent weeks, I haven't really been able to get out. This past week I did, and picked up one or two little gems, which very happy for. And so I look forward to showing it. I've got lots of rock records too that I've really just got to get out and show. But alright, thank you very much everybody. Check out my next video. Bye.